Wait, I've seen this series before somewhere. Ah, that's what it is. What's up, everyone? It's your boy Scott. Welcome to the Scott Reports. Today I'm bringing you a first impression of Superhuman Samurai Syber Squad Gridman. There is no way in hell I'm saying that entire title every week, so I'll probably just stick to Gridman. But anyway, will this series ease fans over from what many may call the disaster of Darling in the Franxx? Probably not. In fact, I don't know how people are going to feel about this anime, because it's an anime. Anime fans in general are very hard to please right now. If you do something that's too similar, it's going to get called a knockoff. And if you do something different, then a lot of people aren't receptive to that. So it kind of leaves you in a position of kind of asking what they want. Gridman, for all intents and purposes, technically it is a mech series, but at the same time, it's kind of like a Sentai series. I mean, it's Ultraman. That's basically what it is. This is based off of a series by the same name in Japan, and we also got a version of it in America called Superhuman Samurai Syber Squad. They just kept the Gridman out of it, and that was during the 90s where we got just an overflow of series like this. We had Power Rangers, we had VR Troopers, we had Big Bad Beetleborgs, we had Tattooed Teenage Alien Fighters from Beverly Hills. I mean, and they were all bad. Some better than others, and some just got better later, but we've seen this before. I mean, we even had a version of Kamen Rider here in the States that went by the name of Mash Rider. And this series, I remember the theme song, I remember seeing episodes of it, and it was bad, it was horrible. But being that we're going off of the Japanese source, I would expect that the anime is going to do a better adaptation for it. And there's a lot of people that don't know this is actually based off of something, because if you look it up, it says that it's original. And it is, you know, it is original work, but it is based off of a series already. And this is going to be more of a, it's not like a giant robo series where someone's going to be piloting. It's like you just literally going to like change into Gridman, and he's going to fight a big kaiju Godzilla type of monster. So it's more like a giant monster versus giant man type of series. I'm interested in seeing where people are going to, how they're going to feel about it. But I know I trust Trigger of anything, they're going to keep you entertained, so I'm interested in seeing where that's going. But let's get down to the episode itself. There's almost a quiet and cinematic approach to the series coming into the first episode, and once it really starts to get down to the nitty-gritty of what it's about, I hope people don't accuse it of being out of nowhere when they start going to space or something like that, like they did Darling in the Franxx. Okay, I'll leave people alone about that. But this was a very vague episode. It was very slow as far as where it was going, and it seems like at base this series really is probably going to be more about Yuta and his friends and how they're interacting with things around them, with the giant robot stuff going on in the backdrop, which is completely fine. But the thing is, to get to the plot of the series, we have this character by the name of Yuta, and it seems like he has amnesia. He doesn't remember, he remembers who he is, but you know, he doesn't remember people, he doesn't know where he's going. And he goes into a shop one day, it's like an antique shop or some type of store, and he sees this old computer with his friends, and it's a robot by the name of Gridman, or Hyper Agent Gridman, saying, Yuta, I need your help, I need your help. And nobody can see it but him. And to make matters even worse, he goes outside and sees like this big shadowy Godzilla kaiju type of figure that nobody can see, and that's basically what this series is going to be about, is him becoming Gridman and him actually stopping these type of kaiju. So that was pretty interesting. The thing is, the pacing of the episode itself was kind of boring, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, if I didn't know what the series was about and what it's going to turn into, it didn't really do a good job of drawing you in, because literally the first 17 minutes of this series was just Yuta and his friends walking around and him trying to figure out his amnesia, what's going on, and trying to tell them like, hey, it's some dude named Gridman that keeps talking to me, and nobody could see it. So it was a very slow burn. It's a boring burn. I would have rather them have used that time to get us to introduce some of the characters instead of just the two that we gotten. If I'm going to cover this series, I need to learn the other two's name, but it seems like these people I would hope that we interacted with are going to have a bigger role, and sometimes you can just tell that they are. If you haven't seen the visual already, then you can look at the characters. I mean, come on, it's a girl with, you know, like the kind of light pink hair, and she has paler skin and red eyes. If that doesn't say she's going to be a character that's going to matter, I don't know what is. But It just felt like they were just treading water with this a little bit too long. And we finally did get Gridman at the end of the episode, which was good. But if it was somebody who just came into this and they're not patient, it might have been too late to actually hook them with this. But I'm not gonna lie, I straight up fanboy when Gridman finally did show up and he hit the grid beam. Oh man, that just brought back the child in me to actually see that. And when he did show up, you know, we got Trigger being Trigger with the nice robo action. We had the music in the background. It was everything that you expected, but to actually get to that point was so long. So I'm hoping that the second episode is a better outing now that we at the very least got the intros out the way. There's also an evil force in the computer somewhere with a yet to be revealed human also making these kaiju happen. And again, if you're familiar with the older series, you already know where this is going because it's actually in the opening, but they're going with a little bit of a different approach with the anime to make it a little bit more mysterious. You know, overall, like even when the kaiju was, you know, sent out, it was still like a couple of minutes of, you know, people just wondering what's going around, running and in panic and screaming and pandemonium. The whole pace of this episode felt more like Cloverfield or like the older Godzilla type of movies where it was more about the city being in panic and everybody being around before Gridman showed up, which is fine. I mean, what this actually felt like, it felt like this was a live action show and they just decided to draw it instead of getting actors. That's the type of feel it has. And again, that is a little bit different than what we're normally seeing with anime, but just the pacing of it, I can understand how this pacing would turn people off. I mean, again, I don't want to say I don't recommend it. I don't, because I know it's Trigger. I know it's going to get better, and I don't want to tell you guys not to watch it, or I wouldn't even have it on this channel or waste my time with it because I know it's going to get better. But I must say, as a first episode, it was pretty bad because it was just too much of nothing going on. And I won't necessarily say it's nothing, but it just felt like it was development that they didn't develop too well. And then we finally got the meat and bones of the series at the very end, which is expected of a first episode, but at least then, you know, we get to know the characters or something instead of this guy just walking around. One thing I do want to point out is that I do like the little inside joke that they had about the city, like after, you know, the kaiju was destroyed and, you know, Gridman went back and they were looking around like, wait a minute, why is the school back? Why does it look like there's no damage around? We see that happen all the time in things like Power Rangers, like these monsters show up and utterly destroy the city. Then the next thing you know, everything just looks fine. It's like, come on, really? So I like that this series was aware to poke fun at that. Like, everybody's just gonna act like this didn't happen. Why the hell is everything back to normal? So let me know what you guys thought of Gridman. Were you expecting to watch it anyway? Did the first episode, you know, draw you in? Did it meet your expectations? Are you going to watch it? I mean, as excited as I am for that series, I can't get over that this first episode was kind of boring to me, but I'm willing to give it 3 episodes. And because I am a giant Robo fan, I'm a fan of the source, I probably would stick with it, but that wasn't really a good first episode for me. So let me know what you thought of the, well, besides the end. It was a good episode. The end was great. Just getting to it was bad, and unfortunately we had to wait 17 minutes in order to get to that point. But let me know what you thought of the episode in the comments below. If you liked the video, go ahead and drop a like, and if you want to hear more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. There's not shortage of content for you to indulge on this channel. As I always say, you guys can be anywhere on YouTube right now, but you chose to listen to me. I really appreciate that, so thanks for stopping by, and be sure to hit that bell so you can get notified whenever I drop a video, go live, or do a reaction. It's your boy Scott signing out. See you soon.